Do that. Hello, everyone. I am Mustard's human employee, still not unionized, still not paid, but we're working on it. Nonetheless, we have the pleasure of being joined with...
This is Brandon from the Kitchen Collective.
Thank you for being here with Music Shelf and joining us today. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having us.
Good. It is our pleasure. So as a employee of a condiment bottle, we really loved your name, the Kitchen Collective, and we were wondering, what do you collect in your kitchen, and what was the inspiration behind the name?
Totally. I mean, we definitely are collecting the funk. It is a funky kitchen. The original inspiration actually came from a drummer that used to play with us. Unfortunately, he's no longer with the band, but he's from Brazil, and yeah, he had said that in Brazil, it was a term to call the rhythm section of the band the kitchen. And so, it was kind of the thing cool. Was like, if you want your band to be tight, you need to get your shit in order in the kitchen, that sort of thing. And so we rolled with that, and then it sort of developed into this play on food and cooking and everything like that. And we really run with it and enjoy it. So, yeah. We're collecting the funk in our kitchen.
Collecting the funk? Nice. And who was, or who are some of the influences to help collect the funk? Who do you got? Who does the band gain influence and inspiration from?
So we definitely have drawn inspiration from a lot of that old school 70s funk. Like, Funkadelic, Parliament, even back to like the 60s, like James Brown and all that, Motown and stuff. But in the more modern sense, we're all deeply influenced by Wolfpack, those University of Michigan guys. They're amazing. We love what they do, and we try to cover their stuff, to push ourselves. Their musicianship is at another level, and just what they do online with their YouTube videos and all that is a great inspiration. So those are some of the big influences. Also, bands like Cake from the 90s, they have a really cool funk style that brings in the horns and all that. Basically anything that has that kind of bass funk driven, tight grooves, horns, those bands we draw influences from. And then there's even some rock influences in the music as well. I've been told, like Arctic Monkeys and things like that, which is more of a stretch, but definitely there's like some Jack White kind of Arctic Monkeys vibes, more on the rock side that we draw from. So
awesome. Yeah, so it's a nice collection of various influences from everywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
Mustard and I, before the interview, we were listening to your newest album, which we'll get to soon. But yeah, we could definitely see that. And Cake, we love Cake, so no, that's awesome.
Another food name.
About
it's funny.
Another food name. Another food name. Yeah, that sounds like a good kitchen to the both of us. So when it comes to drawing from the funk, does the band have a specific creative process in mind when it comes to songwriting, and you're like forming a song and crafting a song, or how does it all come together?
I mean, the ideal situation that I personally like the band to do is jamming in a room for the music and then putting together the verse and the chorus idea off of that and recording it. And then as I do the vocals, so then I'll sit with that and I will sing over it and kind of write vocal parts. And then maybe it starts as a jam and we decided a loose arrangement. I took that arrangement and recorded some vocals over, and then bring that back to the band, and maybe we edit a few things. And that's a really good way to work. And I like doing that, because it encompasses everybody's influences and everybody's vibes, into the music. And I think the songs that were written that way, you can really tell, you can hear that full band influence. Just the life of a band, sometimes it's hard to get all four people in a room. So any avenue to a song is okay. We try not to have any rules. Some of them I wrote all by myself. Some of them, it started that way, just an idea that I had, or another band member just wrote the song all by themselves. Some of them, it's a song that maybe was written years ago and we revisit it. So we're kind of getting into exploring that, but with this day and age with the internet, we hope to get a lot more into trading stems and kind of collaborating in that way, because it is difficult, especially for our current lineup. It can be difficult to get everybody in a room together consistently enough to make progress. And so, rather than lament that and say like, oh, well, how are we going to have our writing process? We're just making it happen, whatever we can do. And that involves pre-writes, that involves trading stems, all those steps, but my favorite way to answer the question is if we all get together in a room and jam. That's the funnest way to write, for sure.
Yeah. That's definitely more of a throwback, especially in our very technology based world.
Sure.
So you were mentioning it's hard to get all 4 people in a room. Do you have like a Dropbox or like a Google Drive or something where you send files to each other?
Yeah, what? We're just discussing this. There's a few ways we're looking at going about it. There's this program called Bandcamp. And so we've discussed using this. It's sort of like, are you familiar with it? It's like an online DAW, a basic one. Basically, it's like GarageBand that lives in the cloud. And you can, all 4 of us have permission to access the songs that are being written and that. And then you can edit it on the fly in that way. And that's kind of nice because we all use different DAWs. I'm on Ableton, drummer Manny, he's on Logic. I think Pritchard is also on Logic, who does the horns, and then Flo probably is just over on GarageBand, real primitive. But I mean, none of that matters. The DAW doesn't matter. What matters is the performances that you capture and all that. So anyway, we can get it all together.
That's true.
We keep a Google Drive, and we're going to explore this Bandcamp, and we're going to see how it goes. It's not Bandcamp, BandLab. Was I saying Bandcamp?
Yeah.
Yeah, BandLab.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Bandcamp is also a great service to artists. But
Sure.
Mustard and I, we dabble in BandLab when we don't. Despite running a music website, we're not the best at making music. So sometimes we'll just go in there and mess around with the DAWs, like you were saying, and try to throw something together. But no, that's awesome.
You're able to use it pretty easily. I haven't tried it yet, actually. We were just talking about it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they have like loops and some other stuff. So if you want to like plug it in and do it that way, you can do that. So it has a nice variety of things. I'm sure they probably have like tutorials, which I probably should look at. But it's really easy to understand, especially for somebody like me who doesn't deal with music in that sense every day. But no, highly recommend.
Yeah. Cool.
Checking it out.
That's what we're just talking about that just yesterday. Getting on the BandLab.
Yeah. But yeah, we could talk about Bandcamp afterwards too.
Sure.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the first EP that the Kitchen Collective did was Lust, Love, and Levity.
That's right.
Could you share a little bit more about that? Was there Mustard and I really liked the name, the alliteration of the LLL.
Yeah.
Could you share more about that EP?
Sure. Yeah, that was the first one for the band. It was done on a different lineup. I'd pre-written the songs, and they're definitely an element that we've kind of continued to do is songs like the one off that Masochistic Life is more kind of talking about like sexy vibe and sexual themes. And the song on it, Karma Fox, is more about like lusting or like that kind of angst and then another of the songs, Furiously, talk more about like your love and passion for life, and it being just an EP, it kind of touched on these 3 things like lust, love, and then levity. Some of the songs are a little jokey, they're a little fun and all that. And yeah, I'm glad that the alliteration resonated with you there. That's exactly what I was thinking when I put it together. I was like, if I was going to describe the songs in 3 words, I could use these 3 words, for the themes of the song. And so it just worked out really good in that way. And that's what we went with for the first EP. So
no, I love it. We love it. I mean, it's kind of like if you were writing like a paper or something, lust, love, and like that's your mission statement, that's your thesis. Like it says it all right there. And that's great. And Mustard and I, we noticed some of that kind of came over onto your newest release, Kitchen Funk. Volume 1, where the first song was, I think it was Sexaholics Anonymous. Was that a response to the Lust, Love, and Levity from the first EP?
In a way, yeah. Like that's a theme that I commonly write about for whatever reason. So Sexaholics is a song about human nature and desire and addiction, really. And I think probably most people can relate to addiction. Just there's so many people that suffer from this illness. And I have family members and people that are close to me that are in the different types of groups. AA is a big one. You know, there's a lot of alcoholics out there. And I just, through random coincidence, had come across a Sexaholics. I think it was called Sex Addicts Anonymous book. We got it from a bookstore or something and just kind of bought it as a gag. And this particular song, we had written it as a band, like the way I was saying that I really like to write. We had jammed out the song as a band. And when I was going to sing on it, you know, with no real plan, I had that minor key, that kind of dark feel. But when I was going to sing on it, that first line just popped out, her body's speaking to me. And I was like, I'm just going to write this about a sex addict. You know, I'd seen that book recently and all that. And it kind of developed into this message of, you know, everybody has some kind of flaw in this way where we can't control, where, you know, whether it be food or sex or drugs or, you know, too much time on the phone, you know. That's a big one for people now. We got all these phone addicts. And so that's kind of the messages that were being put across in the song. And it kept with the levity as well, because it wasn't meant to be too serious. You know, we have that outro section where it definitely just kind of vibes and tries to be fun and play with the situation and make some fun of it. But yeah, an extension of the first album, I would say, and that theme for sure.
Awesome. And then how short? So you had Lust, Love, and Levity. How soon after did you guys begin working on Kitchen Sink?
So after we released Lust, Love, and Levity, there were definitely some lineup changes, even right before it, and it was kind of a continuous thing. So for a while, I think Lust, Love, and Levity came out in April 2021 or May 2021. So it's been like 2 years. And, you know, the reason it did kind of take so long is we were turning over lineups, band members, trying to solidify what we were doing and competing with the issue that I talked about earlier of, man, how do we get everybody consistent here? Because I did line up with some really good musicians, you know, Pritchard on the horns, amazing talent, Manny on the drums. He's also a multi-instrumentalist. But all these guys, they do other stuff, you know, they're in other bands, they're doing all this. And so much in the same way that the Wolfpack guys make their outfit work, even though they're all doing their own separate things, is kind of the path that we've decided to take with this. And I think that was a challenge that we've been communicating more about, like, well, how can we keep this progressing, even though our time in the studio together might be limited. So it took about 2 years now, and we put the CP out, and we hope to increase the output upcoming now. And we've been, you know, communicating about that and setting goals and deadlines. And so all that fun stuff, you know.
No, that's awesome. And Mustard and I were wondering, we were listening to this earlier at our day job, would this be something that you would recommend that humans like dance to while they're cooking food in the kitchen? Like, would you say like it's a good like cooking playlist type of EP?
I think it can get cooky. Yeah, I think so. You know, when I like to cook, if I'm doing some complicated cooking and I'm keeping it moving, there's nothing better than some instrumental jazz. And so we do have Midnight Snack on the record. Somebody can throw that on while they're putting some things together in the kitchen. You know, the EP has some range, and that was on purpose. You know,
it does.
The first song is kind of rock. The second song is a down tempo, goofy thing. The third song is instrumental, and the fourth song more kind of a ballad. So I don't know if that would lend itself to some consistent cooking or not. You kind of more want something you're going to get lost in and just not even notice that it's playing.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
But yeah, why not cook away?
Yeah. Yeah, so the EP has variety. Like humans should have like the variety on the plate. They should have like the grains. They should have the veggies and all the other stuff. And you guys provided that.
That's right.
On EP, and it's called Kitchen Funk Volume 1. Can we expect future volumes in the future?
That's correct.
Will there be a continuation?
Yeah. We were talking about what are we going to name the EP, and because there's so much range on it, and we had made this conscious decision, it was harder to put just one tag on it all that really explained it. And it was brought up that Chicago just named all their albums Chicago 1, Chicago 2, Chicago 3, and we thought, well, screw it. This way we don't have to worry about the name. And also, yes, it gives us, if there's a volume 1, that means there's got to be a volume 2. So kind of gives you a kick in the pants. Like, well, let's get the second one going. So that is the current plan. The next release, we already got the name figured out. One less thing for us to worry about. We can put more focus on the music.
No, that's great, and I'm sure that makes it easier on you as the band to already have the name out of the way. Because I know with some artists, the name can sometimes be a trouble in process trying to get just the exact perfect name to make it truly fit with what you guys are doing. So Mustard and I, we're looking forward to the second volume. And then the album cover, you're in a restaurant, correct?
That's actually at Pritchard, our horn player. That's actually at his house. So
nice.
On the dinner table. Yeah, that's the tablecloth to his table in his house that he eats dinner on. And yeah, we did.
That's awesome.
We did the photo ourselves. Went to the grocery store and got the lettuce. Grabbed the plate. That's Pritchard's trumpet. All that stuff is right out of his kitchen. I think it turned out it was really fun to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's actually me in the photo. From here down.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was some home cooking.
Like it. Yeah, we liked the simplicity of it. And then this is probably too far in advance, but will the second album cover, will it also be in that kitchen? Will you add to the plate possibly, or the meal, because you had the lettuce, will you add something else to the lettuce?
Yeah, we're definitely going to continue with the gag one way or another. We've talked a little bit about it. There's lots of ideas. Probably we won't do another plate. It'll probably be open the refrigerator or open the oven, or we definitely we want to keep that going. Hopefully we can find a really vibey kitchen to shoot the next one in. Not your standard kitchen, some kind of vintage-esque place, or something like that. So we'll be on the lookout. We accept any suggestions, for many listeners, where we should go for the next shot.
Yes. Anybody in the comments, or anybody watching this, in the comments, let us know if you have any kitchen suggestions of funky kitchens.
That's right.
So we're talking about the album. You just released it. Where can listeners go and find the EP, Kitchen Funk Volume 1?
It's on all the standard streaming services, Spotify, Deezer, iTunes, all that. We're setting up a Bandcamp. We don't have one of those set up, but that's in the process. I'm setting that up. It's on YouTube. If you just look up the Kitchen Collective, you can find us over on YouTube. And we're in the process of getting physicals together, so those we'll just sell through our website and our mail list. So, but definitely, I think these days a lot of people are streaming. Love it or hate it. Streaming, I think it's net positive. Everybody can listen to whatever they'd like. It's all there, So
that's true.
I use it. I use the streaming services. I think they're great. So, yeah.
Awesome. So everybody watching this now, or whoever stumbles upon the video, all of that is in the description below. You'll find all the links to Kitchen Funk Volume 1 and Less Love and Levity, and all your socials are in there.
Heck yeah. Very good.
All right. And do you have any last words before we go?
Just thanks so much for having us. I've been watching along since I discovered you, and I appreciate you helping to build the scenes around the music pockets in the country and the world here. So, yeah.
We're trying to do our best because we're still a small music website, but we're trying to expand our reach the best that we can. So we do appreciate your support and you being here.
For sure. Much obliged.
All right. Well, anybody watching this, pause it if you need to. Go and listen to Kitchen Funk Volume 1, and then Less Love and Levity, or vice versa. But we just thank you so much for being here. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we hope you have a great rest of your night.